ordinary for me. We ain't going to your favorite place.
Hey guys, welcome back to Freedom Friday, and today we are gonna be doing the last two of our part series. I don't really feel like doing the whole 7 because we got other stuff we wanna talk about, but we are ending this series, and you want to tell them what the last two are?
So, the S is synergy.
And the E is bad. Eucatastrophe.
It's a made-up word.
It's not an Eucatastrophe. It might not how you pronounce.
Eucatastrophe. Is it Eucatastrophe or Eucatastrophe?
I don't know. That's what I'm about to say.
Eucatastrophe.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Why are you looking like that,
She judge. But it's basically but we're gonna get into that in a Freedom Friday. Y'all think I move slip. But anyway, you gonna start us off with synergy? Okay.
So thank you again for joining us on our series, and we invite you to like, share, comment, subscribe, and click your notifications so you know when we're going to post a new video. And we do post our videos on Friday. So we've been finishing this series up on talking about reversing your fear. And what is fear? What is fear?
The false evidence about reality.
So fear is false evidence about reality. So we've been talking to you guys about all the letters in reverse. And so we're going to finish this series up tonight with the last two letters, which is synergy. So synergy is something that happens when you what
before synergy, you wanna when you see the word synergy, you wanna know that there's a short little word for it is sync energy. So let's get back to it.
That's a good one. So it means like a bunch of different energies come together and you sync it up so you can raise your vibrations and raise your level. So when you are afraid of something and you want to try something different, once you get through the other steps, the next part is you want to have some synergy. And the synergy is as it relates to what are you really trying to accomplish that you're afraid of, and how do you think you can get it done? And so when you think about how you can get it done, you don't just become a one-dimensional person. You want to be a person that realizes that there's multiple ways to get what you want to get done. And just because you're afraid of it being done, it doesn't mean that it doesn't get to happen. And so when we talk about synergy, you want to focus all of your attention on how you accomplish that goal that you are so afraid of meeting. And so, for me, as I've talked about in the previous episodes that I've been afraid to talk about, just things that's been going on with me specifically. And, of it, the biggest part is fear of judgment. Sometimes it's like the wrong people, or you feel like the wrong people getting in your business and things like that. However, when I focus on, hey, the synergy, I focus on, hey, if something doesn't happen a specific way, does that mean what I want to, that the fear that I have, number one, is real? And your fear is as real as you make it. But on the opposite side of that fear is something that you're looking forward to do. So if you want to do something so great and you're allowing the fear to paralyze you, you got to change what you're syncing up with. You want to sync up with something that's allowing you to see all the possibilities of how this is going to happen and how this is going to happen to create a better life for yourself. And when you start focusing on more positive people and more positive outcomes, then you'll start seeing that there's a variety of ways of what you want to happen to occur. So, sometimes you're so busy on the small details of what's happening in life that you tend to sometimes miss the big picture. And sometimes the small details are important, but other times the bigger picture is what we're really missing. And so when you start focusing on the bigger picture and you start paying attention to what's around you, a lot of the times you'll find that there's many solutions to be able to get what you want accomplished. And it'll even minimize the level of fear that you have associated with it. And you still get to move beyond what you're afraid of to be able to reach your goal. So, like I said, I just wanted to talk about making sure your synergy, and that's, like she said, syncing energies, that you want to sync positive energies, because when you sync those positive energies, it raises your vibrations and allows you to be able to get closer to what you're trying to accomplish and remove that fear or reverse that fear that you've been running away from. So that's all I wanted to talk to you guys today about synergy. Now we're going to have CJ talk about Eucatastrophe, because that's her favorite letter in this whole series.
That's my what?
Your favorite letter,
Why
Eucatastrophe?
say that?
Because you the one came up with it.
Okay, so y'all been wanting to see me live. But to me, and what the catastrophe means, it means the opposite of catastrophe. And it means lucky, I guess. But, so, how can I connect that with false evidence about reality, huh, Mama?
So, when you're thinking about false evidence false evidence about reality, I believe that you're thinking about something that's not going to go right. So, if you're saying something's not going to go right, another word for something not going to go right is a catastrophe, right? So, Eucatastrophe is something's going to go right. So, instead of making sure that you find out reasons why it's not going to go right, you create a more positive outcome, which is a Eucatastrophe. That's really what we're doing. So, you want to talk a little bit more about Eucatastrophe?
Yeah. So, I don't know what to say about it, but I picked this oil because when I saw it, I had felt something with it, but I don't feel it right now. I don't feel it.
So, once you talk about the synergy, making sure your synergy is at a higher level, then you want to start getting at a different level when you focus on a more positive outcome altogether.
And when you think everything's gonna be a catastrophe, everything is gonna be a catastrophe, and you're gonna be getting bad results. I thought.
Oh.
And you don't want bad results. So you gotta start thinking in a Eucatastrophe or Eucatastrophe mindset, where you basically gotta turn all the catastrophes right around. And it's, even if something bad is happening, you can turn it around with all the good stuff that came out of it, or all the good stuff that is happening. And that is one of the last ways to avoid your fears, because fear is basically just one big catastrophic event that happens in your life. So when you think in a good way, it can eliminate it, and it can stop it. So you want to say anything else about catastrophe?
So, as she mentioned, the Eucatastrophe is really, you want to make sure, if you're talking about reversing fear, fear is not real. It's as real as you make it. So if you want something to fail, it's going to fail. If you want yourself to succeed, you will succeed. So what's the point of setting yourself up for failure if you want what's on the opposite side? So that's the whole point of making sure you reverse your thoughts around what you want to do, why you want to do it. And instead of having a catastrophe, you'll have a Eucatastrophe. So with that said and done, I believe that ends our series on reversing fear. We hope you actually were able to get something about it, and we hope you were able to reverse some of the fears that you have in your life. And come back for more content as we discuss it. Let's go back down the letters. Remember? The first letter was R, which is rehabilitate. The second letter was E. The second one was energy. We did that one in Miami.
I don't know. We born. I don't want to listen to all that.
Elevate.
Yeah,
So-
I said that.
V, vibration. Raising your vibrations. The second E was,
Energy.
the R was,
Waves and vibration. It was reconnect.
S is synergy, and the E is Eucatastrophe. So, once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Let us know, have you been able to reverse some of your fear, or what some ways that you can reverse your fear. And that's all we have for today. Thank you for joining.